Welcome, Mid-Missouri, to Making a Difference, February 25th, 2014. What a great day. Spring's around the corner, and I have two very special guests with me tonight, Joe Moseley and Tom Smith, both with the Roots and Blues and Barbecue Foundation. Right, guys?
That's exactly right.
How'd I do?
So far, you've got
a mouthful.
Except for the spring's right around the corner, you've done very well.
It's closer than it was yesterday, Joe. Come on now.
I'm just not sure it's happening this year.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Hey guys, what are we here for? What are you going to tell our listeners and viewers about?
We want to give a little background on the Roots and Blues and Barbecue Foundation, what we're there for, and then talk about a special event that we have coming up in a couple of weeks. The foundation, and I'll just go on if that's all right, and you don't have to ask
Joe,
any
don't
questions.
let me stop you.
Okay,
Go.
good. The foundation is the sponsor of the Blues in the Schools program. This last year we're in 15 schools. It's a program that is up to a week. It can be shorter than that if the schools so choose, but it's a professional blues musician comes into the schools, works with the kids, talks about a little bit of, or teaches them a little about the history of the blues in this country. It becomes a social studies lesson, works with them to write a song, and the kids then perform it. It's a great program. It covers a lot of different disciplines in the schools.
Tom, how long have you been involved with blues? I mean, is the blues genre something that do you play an instrument? I mean,
I play CDs and I play them very well.
Do you really?
But no, I've always been a blues fan.
Yeah.
And the foundation's actually been around as long as its namesake, the Roots and Blues and Barbecue Foundation.
Good.
But it's been fairly small. Within the last year or two, they've really tried to get it rolling. Brought in a community board to get things going. And the Blues in the Schools program is expanding as well. Last year we were in 15 schools, I think, and
That's right.
Shooting for quite a few more this year. And I just talked to Betsy Ferris, the executive director, and with the help of the Missouri Arts Council, they're talking about rolling it out statewide.
Really? Based on the model set here in Columbia, Missouri?
We're writing the curriculums, and hopefully we'll be able to roll it across the state.
You should be very proud of that.
They've worked very hard.
Yeah.
I think it's a good program.
Done a good job.
Now the Roots and Blues and Barbecue Foundation. Joe, you're the president of the board,
That's correct.
and Tom, you're the vice president.
That's
Okay. What's your vision? What's your mission statement, first of all, for the foundation? What is it exactly that you want to bring to the community?
You remember that, don't you?
It's rather large and voluminous, but it.
5 words or less.
We're going to put music educators in local schools.
That's 5 words or less.
Wow.
That's good.
Joe,
Yes.
what's your future vision? Once you get that done?
Well, you've heard a little of the vision.
Sure.
It's to get it into most, if not all, the schools in the Columbia area. And it started out as a 4th grade program, and last year was expanded to what's now West Middle School. It was West Junior last year. The high schools, we have the high schools that are interested. We've gone and made presentations to the private schools here. So extend it throughout the Columbia area, but with the help of the Arts Council to be able to make this a statewide program is probably a little bit more than our original vision, but it's become the vision.
Now listen, guys, if I were to hum a tune, do you think you could pick it up? I don't know very many blues tunes, but if I would hum a song, would you be able to guess that tune?
No.
We're not very good at that, but you probably are. So you'd be a natural for our upcoming fundraiser on March 12th.
How did we get to this point?
There's the segue.
There it is.
And Cat TV is one of the groups that has a team. There are 8 teams that are going to be competing in Name That Tune.
Name that tune.
Name
Had
that
to get the
tune.
name in there.
Name That Tune. March 12th, it's going to be at the Blue Note. And for everybody that comes, not only are you going to be entertained by the teams that are trying to guess the tunes, and I think everybody remembers what Name That Tune is about.
Oh, yeah.
A certain number of notes, and they will be paired, the teams will. It's 2-person teams, and there will be elimination until it gets down to the final. But while all of that is happening, there's wonderful food. There's beer and wine and soft drinks that are complimentary. So entertainment, an auction that Tom knows everything about that's also going to be entertaining. But most of it's the contest, Name That Tune contest.
Outstanding. 8 teams. Who are some of the teams? participating?
Cat TV is one of them. A lot of our media sponsors, the Tribune has a team, the KBXR, I think it is, has a team.
BXR, Commerce Bank,
Okay.
Lucky's Market.
Yes, Lucky's Market is a
Great.
great sponsor. Jonathan Sessions and Chris Belcher are forming a school team, and they're going to be competing. So it's going to be a lot of people to make, well, a lot of different people to make fun of that evening.
Oh, that'll be a blast.
It will be.
You going to be there?
Oh, certainly, yeah, we will.
Tom?
Oh, yeah.
Good, good.
Not
Now,
on stage.
Why not?
Because we want to have more fun.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
Okay, disregard that last transmission. 501c3, right? Not for profit.
Absolutely.
How do you sustain your efforts? How do you bring all this good stuff to the Columbia Public Schools?
Good, Tom.
Well, we've had the foundation has been financed by the generosity of the Roots and Blues and Barbecue Festival so far, but this year we've kicked into some serious fundraising. Our new friends at Lucky's Market recently held a 5% day where folks coming in and making purchases, 5% of that went to the foundation. A certain local brewery that will soon be celebrating its 20th anniversary did an event over the summer and had a specific beer, a bluesberry ale, as I recall, and all the proceeds from that went to the foundation as well.
Do you have anything to do with that?
It might have been a certain brew pub in town that's about to be 20 years old that I have something to do with.
Well, he's being too modest. It was his brainchild, as well as putting it together and making sure it worked. He's the one that thought up the idea.
That's excellent.
But, for example, our friends at Broadway Brewery are providing the beer for the name that tune.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
blues and beer, I mean,
Does it get any better than that?
Barbecue. Throw some barbecue in there.
Well,
We're
do
good to
that.
go, guys.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that there's going to be barbecue, but and I probably shouldn't start because I'll forget some of them. But the food that evening for Name That Tune, there's Room 38, Saki, Jimmy John's, the Biscuit Company,
Tellers.
Sparky's, Tellers. There's going to be some excellent food there that evening.
Good, good, good. What other plans do you have for any future events or anything like that?
Well, before we get to that, why don't we let Tom tell about the auction items that evening? Because I think
that's
people are
right.
going to be really interested.
well,
in it. This is gonna be
briefly,
fun.
this is, we're starting at 5:30. We're going to get people out at 8:30. It's going to be quick. So there's only a few auction items, but they're all things that you could not find anywhere else. There's a VIP Blue Note package where you start with a limo and dinner in Osaka restaurant, then have a meet and greet with the band and special reserve seats for a show of your choice at the Blue Note. There's a Roots and Blues style breakfast where B&B Bagel will come into your place of work, feed up to 15 people, and bring an acoustic blues artist. Just not the kind of stuff you can
Those are
find
great items.
other places.
I'm talking about the brew pub.
We're running out of time to talk about the brew.
You
pub,
can
but-
do it though, real quickly. Brew pub.
Okay, there's also a dinner, a brewer's dinner for 8 at Flat Branch Pub and Brewing, where we let our chefs go wild. We pair each of 5 courses with a particular beer that's on tap. We also get a tour of the brewery, and then we send everybody home with a growler and a certificate for a couple of refills.
What an auction item.
It is. Is it open to the public?
It is.
It's open to the public. Tickets are available at the Blue Note box office.
On the-
$35.
$35 on the night of the event.
Before that would
Okay.
be better. They will be available unless they sell out, but they're available right now at the box office at the Blue Note.
Wow.
You can call, and they can take it over the phone. You can go by and get the tickets.
Wow.
But for $35, you get all that food, all that.
Tell you, it sounds like a bargain.
Yeah,
And it's a great cause.
it's a great cause.
Great cause. 2014, 2015, anything in the future? Joe, come on. What do you want to do here?
Well, we do brainstorm. We keep
Well,
coming up
you're
with
going to
ideas.
retire soon.
I know, that's
You'll
exactly
be able to devote
right. We do this
100% of
full
all
time.
your
Exactly,
time.
Exactly. Well, as we said, extend it to more schools. So
go.
part of it is recruiting the schools and raising the money to be able to afford to put it in those schools. So we're going to have more events like this. We just want the people in the community to know what's happening and
Sure.
and to remain generous as they always have been.
Gentlemen, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being our
for
guest
having
this
us.
evening. Come back and see us. Let us know how it goes.
We'll do
Will you
that.
do that?
Do that. Or you could bring the cameras and shoot from there that night. It'd be a great
You know, I
program.
know some people. I might be able to talk to somebody.
I'd come down and film the Cat TV team anyway.
Okay, that's an idea.
There you go.
Good job. Thank you so much, and we hope to hear from you again real soon. Thank you,
Marco.
gentlemen.
Thank you, Marco.
Welcome back, Mid-Missouri. We made it, Karen. My
Yes.
guest is Karen Grindler, the founder and director and
Director
and
bathroom cleaner, stall mucker, you name it. A little bit of everything.
Cedar Creek Therapeutic Riding
Center.
Center.
That's correct.
You know, you have to have the coolest job there
It is a fun one.
Yeah.
It's a blast. We just play outside with horses and people and volunteers from the community and go on trail rides. And what's not fun about that?
I mean, what's your primary function? Your main goal in life, your mission?
My main goal in life
Well,
for
Cedar
Cedar Creek,
Creek, Cedar Creek.
you know, just to continue doing what we are doing and being one of the top therapeutic riding centers in mid-Missouri. We are the only certified therapeutic riding center. We're certified by the Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship. And so we're pretty much the riding center of Columbia that's been here for 25 years serving the community. We do people with physical, mental, and emotional disabilities. We've incorporated working with Horses for Heroes, and we've been doing veterans. And just everything we do out there is just really a whole lot of fun, because what's not fun about playing with a horse?
I'm telling you, it's amazing. How'd you get into this?
Well, Cedar Creek started 25 years ago, and well, at the time I had a horse and saw it on television, thought it looked like a fun thing to do. Was training my horse, and the instructor that I was training with was a certified therapeutic riding instructor. So we kind of banded together back then and started off in 1988 with 12 riders and 3 horses, and this next couple of weeks this spring we'll be starting our spring 2014 session. We've got 106 riders a week with the help of 15 amazing horses.
That is just amazing. 115 riders a week. And okay, now I assume that's just not 1 week that they're on a horse. If these individuals,
No, it's an 8-week session,
Okay.
and we have lessons on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and they're 1-hour lessons, and riders come out for 1 hour a week over an 8-week period and learn to ride. And people don't understand that there's a lot more to riding than just sitting on the back of the horse. For our riders, we're working on goals. For those with a physical disability, it's
Sure.
the movement. It's the same movement as the human walk. So for somebody who sits in a wheelchair, it's like going to the gym and doing 6 different Nautilus machines, 30 minutes each machine, riding on the back of the horse for an hour. You're simply sitting there riding, but you're exercising the large muscle groups in the stomach and the back and the legs and the shoulder and the arms. So physically, you're getting an intense workout for an hour. So for our riders with a physical disability, it's that movement that's helping them. But then for some of our riders that have a mental disability, it's the self-confidence, the self-esteem that comes from doing something as difficult as riding on a 1,200-pound animal and being in control. And then emotionally, you know, we get kids that have been from bad situations that come out to Cedar Creek, and they've learned not to trust people anymore, and, you know, they've been abused and had rough times. And they come out to Cedar Creek and they have this horse, and they don't love the horse at first, but then each week that horse is waiting patiently for them.
So you get to watch that bond
You
take
watch
place.
that bond, you watch that kid going from hating and hitting that horse to whispering in its ear and loving that horse. And then as a result of that bond and that relationship, they're able to actually trust again. They can see that, you know, maybe not everything in this world is so bad. And they reach out to people. So every person that rides at Cedar Creek is getting a different benefit, but everybody's having a great time.
Sounds like it. So in an 8-week session, you get to witness just some phenomenal change in an individual.
Yeah, I have to write a book someday. Over the past 25 years, I have seen people doing things that the doctors told us would never happen.
Really?
Numerous. Every year there's 2 or 3 kids that had no signs of talking that will start talking after riding. We've had probably in the 25 years 5 people, at least I can think of, who were no signs of walking, 4 or 5-year-old children who still hadn't started walking that start riding, and it helps put the input into the body to begin walking. And so, you know, when we see changes like that, you know you're having a great job and you're having fun doing it. I mean, it's just, mostly we don't talk about that. You know, we don't say, oh, look how much braver you are this week to a guy with PTSD. You know, we just have fun, and the magic happens while it's going on. But, you know, it's a very volunteer-intensive program. I mean, when you're taking somebody with poor balance and you're putting them on this huge horse that moves pretty quickly through space, you want to be safe. So one of the things at Cedar Creek that we need volunteers for is those with horse experience lead the horses, of course, to make sure that they're under control at all time. And they're old, well-trained horses, but still they're horses. And then those without horse experience, we call sidewalkers. And they walk alongside of the rider, whether it's a child or adult. Some of them might need a little assistance holding on. Some might just need kind words to have the confidence to do it. Everybody's different, but the role of a volunteer at Cedar Creek is pretty special because you're really involved with the program. You're actually watching. You know, you might have a child that comes the first week and then over an 8-week period see a huge change. And you're a part of it. You know, you're with that kid. And
you're getting ready to start a training program, though.
we are. We
aren't
have
you?
training coming up on March the 10th.
Okay.
That's a Monday during the day from 1 to 3. And then the next day, March 11th, we have another one. You don't have to come to both, one or the other. And March 11th at 6 to 8 p.m. And then we'll start March 12th, that Wednesday. And we do an 8-week session for the spring, but we do take spring break week off because all the college kids leave and we have no volunteers because they're all in Mexico. So it's an 8-week session. It starts up March 12th, goes through to May 10th, and
Can
it's
anyone
fun.
volunteer to help you?
Anybody.
I mean, do you have to have experience with?
No, you don't have to have experience with horses. You just need to be kind. You need to be able to walk. We mostly walk on the tree. We have 10 miles of trails. We go out in the woods. We'll trot once or twice in a class. So if you can't run, you might have to take a break and let someone take your place. But basically, it's just a kind of a getting to know somebody, walking alongside of them, and having fun kind of job.
I'm interested. What's your background? How did you get into this? Just thought.
Well, my degree is in theater at MU. I got my degree in communications, so I can talk. It's not
Yes,
a
you
problem.
can.
And so when Cedar Creek got started, I'm an instructor now, but at the time my job was to go out in the community and find support and find
Spread the word.
volunteers.
Spread the word.
And get the word out. And
Yeah.
so, you know, we've done that over 25 years. We've got a lot of relationships in this community and a lot of people that help us. And it's been a
phenomenal.
great time.
Would you change anything?
I think I would have learned how to lift a little better. In 25 years of lifting, my back hasn't really done so well, but no, I wouldn't change a thing. It's been a joyful ride, so to speak, the whole way.
I like it.
You know, I've met millions of wonderful, fantastic people. I mean, the people that come out to volunteer, those are great people. So it's
Now
been
you're
fun.
a 501c3.
Correct. We
Okay,
sure
not for
are.
profit.
Yes, we are.
You, if somebody wants to make a donation to you, would you accept it?
Absolutely. They can drive out to the farm and hand it to me and watch me do cartwheels down the barn aisle.
Well, it'd be worth it.
Or they can go to, we have a website, cedarcreek.missouri, spelled out.org, and you can go right there to our PayPal and look at our facility and make a
Really?
donation.
Outstanding. What are some of the needs you have right now?
Volunteers, always.
Okay.
I'm always looking for a small horse that's narrow to replace Velvet, a horse that we had that passed away a couple years ago.
Okay.
We have a lot of riders with CP that are very tight, and they can't sit astride a wide horse. So I'm always looking for a narrow horse out there. If you've got one, call us up. You know, we're getting ready to expand Cedar Creek a little bit, so you know we're always looking for donations and support.
That's what you were talking about. How many acres?
Right now we have 48. That might be soon changing.
Good,
So
good,
It's
good,
just a fun place to come out and hang out mostly.
Outstanding. Listen, come back and keep us posted
you.
on how everything is going.
I
Karen,
will.
thank you so much.
You too. Thanks for having me.
You made my day.
Well, I'm a lucky person to have a job that is just fun every day.
yeah.
You know, what's not good about having a job that gives you joy?
Exactly. Come back and see us.
Okay, will do.
Welcome back, Mid-Missouri. Our third and final guest tonight, and probably the most intriguing, is John D. Baker, the Executive Director of Community Foundation of Central Missouri.
Yes, and you know, we like to be a little mysterious and like to be on
This is
shows
intri-
like this to let people know what we're all about. So,
John, this is intriguing. I asked you earlier, what do you do? And you said we match donors to charitable causes.
right, we have this wonderful vision. We see community and individual dreams fulfilled through the power of giving.
Wow.
And in so doing, we try to match donors to causes that they care about. The power of giving is that it's voluntary. No one forces anybody to
Right.
give anything. So people give because they've got an idea, they want to see something improved, something solved. And so our theme statement is working together, improving lives. So we foster partnerships, we try to motivate charitable giving, and then we try to improve lives as those things come together in communities.
So you're a busy man.
All the time. I'm a staff of one, and I'm busy in the morning until this time of day. Here it is, 6:30 p.m., and having a wonderful time here with you, Marco.
This is great. This is good stuff. How many other groups in Central Missouri get to do what you do?
Well, foundations do good things, but the beauty
Sure
of a
they do.
community foundation is that we can cover all charitable interests. We are everything from public arts on one extreme to those human interest things in the middle, all the way to, if somebody wanted to, we could help them endow a sewer pipe maintenance program.
Why
you know,
not?
we can do all that. So if it can become charitable, we can touch it through a community foundation because we match a donor to a cause they care about, and we create funds for that special interest of that donor.
Sure. Now, how do you go about creating the fund for a future donation to whatever?
Well, let's say, Marco, that you had a real interest in early childhood education, for example. And let's say that you were about to be hit with a big tax obligation.
Right.
And you realized through a smart financial advisor or a conversation with the community foundation that if you could make a significant charitable donation, that you could, number one, save on your taxes. Secondly, you could create a fund that will permanently, or over a period of time that you choose, provide a revenue stream for early childhood education.
So you could do it through a trust, an endowment?
Well, it's through endowments is usually what we do.
Okay.
We have what we consider long-lasting funds that provide a long-lasting revenue stream for charitable services.
Sure.
But we can also create something over just a period of a few years, if you like, to where the fund actually pays out, you know, during your lifetime, or 5 years or 20 years or 100 years, whatever you would prefer.
So if someone needed that specialized advice and guidance, they could come to you.
They could call me,
Okay.
and then I know that my knowledge is fixed. I have a certain level beyond which I don't have that expertise. So then I will refer to somebody who will.
Okay.
Or we can have a donor who talks with their own estate planner or their own CPA or someone else like that who advises them professionally. And then we will work with that person to help create this fund for the donor to help lift up all lives here in this area.
That's amazing.
It's good work. And we covered
is
10
good work.
counties. We go all the way up to Adair County.
Okay.
Down to
Kirksville?
Cole, over to the west to Callaway, excuse me, to Cooper, and to the east to Callaway.
All of our neighbors.
That's right, all of our neighbors plus the two at the top. Yeah, works out pretty well.
Wow.
Now, we only have work right now, actually, in Boone County and in Cooper County and Callaway County.
Okay.
But our services are available for the entire 10 counties of central Missouri.
What's the most exciting thing that you've personally been involved with?
Well, two things last year were really quite thrilling, actually. Number one, we did a transfer of wealth study. There are 9 community foundations in Missouri, and we all pooled resources, and we hired an outfit from Kansas, Nebraska, called the Rural Center for Rural Entrepreneurship. I've got it. And great group, and they did a transfer of wealth analysis for all the 114 counties in Missouri. And we found out how much money in the next 10 years is going to be transferring from one generation to the next. You know, mom and dad who have this money right now, they're going to be letting that money go when they pass from this earth, and where's that money going to go? So in the next 10 years, we know pretty much how much money will be transferring, and then in the next 50 years, we have kind of algorithmic guesstimates as to what will be happening within 50 years. And it's quite profound. Here in Boone County alone, by the year 2020, $3.14 billion is going to transfer just in Boone County.
From one generation to the next.
$3.14 billion.
Without guidance, how much of that could possibly move into another pattern where it's not available to help others through state taxation and stuff like that?
I can't answer that question exactly because if more people get smarter about their estates, then that number will be reduced.
Right.
But our campaign was simply called The Power of 5%. And
Okay.
if you go to our website, you can see a video. It's got TOW, Transfer of Wealth Video.
Okay.
It's 3 minutes long, and it talks about the power of 5%. If just 5% of that amount of money that we identified can be converted to a charitable fund, or funds, plural, through either our organization or others, and then returned back to the community, it's millions of dollars a year in charitable donations.
And look what that 5% could leverage as far as charitable
sure.
contributions.
You could educate
The
kids.
good
You
that it could do.
enhance the arts. You could feed seniors that need help. You could do so much for economic development in our community. There's just no end to what kind of charitable things could be enhanced through
That's
generosity.
just 5%.
5%.
Wow.
Other thing we did was Como Gives. You might have heard
Sure.
that phrase.
Yeah.
This was a citywide Columbia campaign that was to the benefit of 30 local nonprofits. They answered yes to our appeal. Do you want to participate with us for Como Gives? They said yes. And so we did a campaign in December. We created a paper guide and distributed about 24,000 copies of that in Columbia. We had a website dedicated for that so that people like yourself or others could go to comogives.com, find one of those 30 charitable organizations, and make an end-of-year kind of goose 'em up kind of gift, to inspire these organizations at the end of the year. We collected about $62,400, I think it was, during that first inaugural campaign, and we hope to do that again in 2014 and make it even bigger and better.
Good. If somebody wants to get involved with this and wants to really talk seriously with you, how difficult is it to set someone up on a plan or whatever you do? You're the smart guy here, John.
Man, the thing we want to do is simply to talk with people. We want
Okay.
to educate people about what they can do and try to match that donor to a cause they care about. Some donors are prospective donors because they don't really know inside yet what drives them. Well, we can help them with that. We can give them some questionnaires, we can have conversations with them to identify their charitable interests. And then we can work with them and their other financial planners and professional advisors to come up with an amount of money that would be helpful for them, and then they can identify that charitable concern and make that donation to start providing that revenue stream for what interests them.
Your specialty is bringing the donor or the fund to the organization, to the charitable organization.
Well, either that or to an area, a field of interest.
Okay.
Sometimes people will establish a field of interest fund.
Sure.
Again, let's go back to you and the early childhood education example. Let's say that you really like that, but you don't have an organization in mind that you want to have, use your funds. We can make that determination through our board. You make the funds available, you create the area of interest, then we will decide on your behalf which organizations locally can use that money best. So we can do all of that. Or an unrestricted fund, or a scholarship fund, or a designated fund. We can do all that for you.
But you can advise someone.
Oh, absolutely. But the first thing, it starts with conversation. It starts with trying to determine the interest, the will, the charitable heart to make these kind of things happen.
That's cool. That's good stuff,
It is
John.
good stuff.
That is neat. Listen, come back and see us, will you?
Would love to.
Come back and keep us posted on how you're doing around Central Missouri. Not just this region, but Central Missouri.
Sure. We'll see what we can do.
We wish you the very best with your endeavors, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Marco.
you,
Appreciate it.
John.
All right.